Most people quit too early, not because they are weak, because they misunderstand strength. They think strength looks loud. They think it always feels fearless. They think confidence never shakes. That is not real mental strength. Real strength is often quiet. It hides inside ordinary moments. Inside the days nobody applauds. Inside the battles nobody sees. And you may already be winning them. A lot of people are stronger than they think because they measure themselves by emotion, not by response. You feel tired, so you call yourself fragile even while you keep moving through things that used to break you. You feel doubt, so you assume you are behind, even while you make choices weaker habits can no longer control. Here's the truth. Mental strength is not the absence of pressure. It is the ability to carry pressure without handing your life over to it. It is what shows up when your mood says stop, but your standards say keep going. It is what remains when nobody rescues you, nobody validates you, and you still choose discipline. So, if you have been underestimating yourself, this is where that story changes. Because the signs of mental strength are rarely dramatic. They are usually hidden in the way you think, recover, decide, and continue. Number 8 is simple, but most people never master it. You can be disappointed without becoming destroyed. That matters more than people realize because disappointment is where many lives quietly fall apart. Someone gets ignored, overlooked, rejected, or delayed, and suddenly they start questioning their entire path. But when you are mentally strong, pain does not automatically become identity. You let the sting be real, but you do not let it define who you are. Maybe the opportunity did not happen. Maybe the message never came. Maybe the effort was not rewarded yet. But here's what winners do differently. They feel the hit, then they return to center faster than before. They do not need perfect outcomes to stay grounded. They understand that a bad moment is information, not a final verdict on their future. That ability alone can save years of wasted energy. Because fragile thinking turns one setback into a personal collapse. Strong thinking says, that hurt, but I am still here and I still have work to do. Number 7 is uncomfortable, and that is exactly why it matters. You can sit with discomfort without rushing for escape. A weak mind needs immediate relief. A strong mind can tolerate tension long enough to make a better decision. That shows up everywhere. It shows up when you want to quit a hard routine after 3 difficult days. It shows up when you want to answer an insult, prove yourself instantly, or numb yourself with distraction. Mental strength gives you space between impulse and action. That space is power. Because your life changes the moment feelings stop controlling the steering wheel. Maybe you still feel anxiety before a hard conversation. Maybe you still feel resistance before the workout, the study session, or the risk. But you do not always obey the feeling. That is a bigger victory than most people understand. You are no longer a servant to temporary discomfort. You are learning to move with friction instead of waiting for perfect emotional weather. That is how resilient people are built. Number 6 is a quiet sign that your mindset is maturing. You recover faster than you used to. Not instantly. Not perfectly. Just faster. Maybe stress still hits you. Maybe criticism still gets under your skin for a minute. Maybe failure still burns. Of course it does. You are human. But the difference is that you no longer stay down for as long. What once stole a month now steals a day. What once ruined your week now sharpens your focus by tomorrow morning. That is not small progress. That is evidence that your inner system is getting stronger. The goal was never to become untouchable. The goal was to become recoverable. Anyone can feel motivated when life is smooth. Strength reveals itself in rebound time. How quickly can you recenter, reframe, and return to the work that matters? If your comeback is getting quicker, your mind is getting stronger. Number 5 separates real growth from performance. You do not need everyone to understand you anymore. That freedom changes everything because constant explanation is exhausting, and constant approval seeking makes people betray themselves. When you are mentally weak, disagreement feels like danger. You waste energy trying to be accepted by people who are not building your future. But when you are stronger, you can handle being misunderstood for a season. You stop making every decision through the lens of public reaction. You can choose what is right for your growth, even if it looks strange from the outside. That might mean protecting your time. That might mean saying no more often. That might mean outgrowing rooms that once made you feel important. It does not mean you become cold. It means you become clear. And clarity is powerful. Because the moment you stop needing constant permission, your momentum gets cleaner and your purpose gets louder. Number 4 is one of the strongest signs on this list. You take responsibility without drowning in self-hate. A lot of people confuse blame with accountability. They think being hard on themselves is the same as being honest with themselves. It is not. Self-hate does not create discipline. It creates paralysis, shame, and avoidance. Mental strength sounds different. It says, I made a mistake. I need to own it, I need to fix it, and I need to learn. That voice is firm, but it is useful. It does not waste time turning every flaw into a character assassination. If you can look at your patterns honestly without collapsing into excuses or self-contempt, you are stronger than you think. That means your ego is no longer running the whole show. You are becoming coachable by reality. And reality is the best teacher when your pride stops interrupting the lesson. Number 3 is where mental strength becomes visible to other people. You keep your word to yourself more often. Not all the time. More often. That matters because self-trust is built through evidence, not affirmations. Every time you promised yourself something and break it, your mind remembers. Every time you say tomorrow and then disappear from your own standard, your confidence quietly leaks. But when you start following through, even in small ways, something powerful shifts inside you. You begin to believe your own commands. You say you will get up earlier, and you do it more often. You say you will stop texting distractions, and your hand actually obeys. You say you will finish the task, and you stay long enough to finish it. That is mental strength in motion. Because a strong mind is not just positive. It is reliable. And reliability creates an identity that can carry bigger goals without collapsing under pressure. Number 2 is the sign people usually overlook because it looks too ordinary. You become more selective with your energy. You no longer react to every opinion, every invitation, every insult, or every piece of noise. That is not arrogance. That is maturity. A mentally weak person leaks energy everywhere. They fight battles that do not matter. They attend every emotional emergency. They let random chaos rent space in their head for free. But here's what winners do differently. They protect attention like it is part of their future, because it is. They know every yes costs something. They know every reaction feeds something. They know every distraction trains the brain to become weaker tomorrow. So they choose better. They do not need to comment on everything. They do not need to prove themselves in every room. They do not need to carry what was never theirs. If you have started guarding your peace, your focus, and your time, that is not selfishness. That is strength learning how to direct itself. And number 1 may be the clearest sign of all. You keep going even when you do not feel like the hero of your own story. This is where the fantasy ends and real strength begins. Because anyone can feel powerful on the day inspiration is loud, the plan is clear, and progress is obvious. But some seasons are not built like that. Some seasons are confusing. Some are repetitive. Some are lonely. Some make you question whether anything is working at all. And still you continue. You show up without applause. You adjust without drama. You learn without announcing it. You rebuild without needing everyone to witness the process. That is not glamorous. That is elite. The strongest people are not always the ones who look fearless. They are the ones who keep honoring the mission while fear, doubt, and fatigue sit in the room. They do not wait to feel unstoppable. They become dependable in the middle of uncertainty. So if you have been judging yourself by your emotions, stop there. Your emotions are weather. Your patterns are proof. Look at the evidence. You have survived disappointment without losing your direction. You have tolerated discomfort without surrendering your standards. You recover faster. You need less approval. You take responsibility. You keep promises to yourself. You guard your energy. And you continue even when it feels ordinary. That is mental strength. Not perfect composure. Not nonstop motivation. Not a life without hard days. Real strength is the decision to remain aligned when everything inside you wants relief instead. So here's the shift. Stop waiting for some dramatic moment to confirm that you are stronger now. Stop acting like your progress only counts when it becomes visible to everybody else. A stronger mind is usually built in private, in repetition, in restraint, and in recovery. It is built every time you choose principle over impulse. Every time you return instead of retreating. Every time you stay honest without becoming cruel to yourself. Every time you keep walking while doubt tries to rename you. And if that has been your pattern lately, even imperfectly, then give yourself credit for the truth. You are not behind. You are being forged. You are not weak because life feels heavy. You are strong because you keep carrying what matters with intention. And the next level is not becoming someone else. It is trusting the stronger version of you that pressure has already been revealing. The version that pauses before reacting. The version that chooses the hard right over the easy wrong. The version that keeps building when nobody can yet see the structure rising. That person is not someday. That person is showing up right now in your daily decisions. Keep going. Not because it is easy. Because you are becoming someone who no longer needs easy to stay committed. That is the difference. And that difference will change your life.